Hi guys, this is FNGR. I and a couple of my friends got together to talk about Grabby McGee over here. Free update, ToonKritic, as of the time of this video, is still not in jail. He is not only free, but active on Skype, and as it stands, if anyone on your friends list is asking you to do something you don't feel comfortable with, don't feel like you can't decline. Special thanks to Keychi FIM, Jim Fear, who both showed up a little late, but were really great in this podcast, Pastel Prose, Roockamoo, Sapphireheart Song, and my girlfriend Buttons. If anyone in the audience wants to vent on, say, ToonKritic, or someone else in the fandom, feel free to contact me down below. This was educational to a point, and was far from a bad time. Please save your forgiveness for people you love and care about who are striving to better themselves, in lieu of their mistakes. I can safely say, in the time I knew Toon, that never happened. Also, this is Toon. He's not ToonKritic, he's still on YouTube, and is experiencing a vast amount of false flaggings. If you could spread the word that whatever problems this gentleman may or may not have, he's not Zachary Keys. Pretty please, if you're upset about ToonKritic, this man is not him. Do not flag him. If you could include that in your videos somewhere along the line, I'd like to see that we don't pancake someone who's not responsible for, well, you know. Godspeed.
I have a feeling Pastel is going to be doing most of the talking, and everyone else is just going to be playing off what she says.
It's not the talk. No, because I'm just going to say my story. It is what it is. Call out Dulcet. Call
Good.
Fucking...
Yeah.
We're talking about Toon, though.
I'm
Welcome
okay
to the
with
Fuck Dulcet podcast.
I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, I'm telling you, dudes, I still fucking have that shit. Where this nigga literally said I was insecure in my relationship with Katie, but you were freshly dumped and single when I was going off on Toon, and you could have sworn, you know what, nigga, sit the fuck down. I'm going for you. I'm going for you. And I'm like, nail one of these little white fuckers. But I'm for both of them. So fucks.
Oh my god, I love you, Pastel.
I don't mind calling Dulcet out on his cuckoldery for that one thing, and the fact that we had a collab. Not only did he write the
all right, hun, you talk.
oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, if you
oh, that was beautiful.
I'm just letting you. Wait, am I still coming through? All right.
Yes.
If you bitch about things like a collab, people are going to assume that you're being petty, and that's the only reason we're hitting him. When we have like real reasons, where he's just being a cunt.
Yes, no, he's actually fucking shown that shit. Like, no. To be fair, I have a theme song.
I haven't been out of my way by any stretch of the imagination to sabotage Dulcet, have I, Pastel?
No one knows who he is. What is there to sabotage?
I pushed him for the longest time. I had him on Analysis Daily. I don't dislike his work, but I mean, you know, he's acting like I didn't mind Dulcet. If you're listening, I didn't mind running into you at BC, but you've been kind of a douche. So fuck you. Yeah.
Wait, are we recording?
Oh yeah.
We are.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's the only reason he fucking tried to defend Zach and call me names is because that nigga was trying to suck that dick. Bet money he never got a taste of it though. So have a nice day. Sit down.
Damn.
All the way.
Oh, I love you, Pastel. God damn it,
I'm gonna let it go.
All right. So where are we starting with the Zach? Are we starting from the beginning? Like when?
Might as well, yeah.
I feel like if anything, Anthony deserves to go first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wait for Pastel to calm down a bit.
Yeah.
I'm
And
good.
get home.
I'm good.
Anthony, you there? Honey bunches.
That moment when you let that on your podcast.
I say you he did.
Buggy Baba Snoogle Noodle.
Fucking Bugman talk.
Where did you go? Did his connection die?
I really don't know.
I don't know either. That's the best part.
His podcast cucked him. Anthony.
So about that Anthony Aguilar.
Oh my god.
Put on the Celine Dion for him.
Hey guys, this is Roockamoo filling in for Anthony Aguilar. You cunt.
Oh my god.
I think his shit's because last time this happened, his shit really did go all the way out. He had to join on his like laptop or something. He was pissed off. He's like, "Fuck," or join on his phone or something. I don't remember. His shit was all the way fucked up.
Oh, is there a message?
No.
I am not the Dragon Lolly. God damn it, Sapphire.
Dragon Lolly.
I am not the dragon lolly. That is Kana.
My ankles. Kill him, Mary. Kill him softly. So you ever had like a want when you're looking at the bumpers of multiple cars where you just kind of want to get a rocket launcher, like an SSSR, and just aim that bitch and just blow everyone away? I think I have issues.
We
Only
all
when
have
I'm-
issues.
Only when I'm playing Fallout.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling. Which one? 3 or 4?
I'm playing 3 right now.
Okay, I love 3.
Damn straight. It gets too much shit.
I've not played any Fallout game.
It's never enough. I feel like I'm never done. I'm like, there's always more replayability.
And then you have mods. That's the best part.
No, the game I think I've modded the most had to be Skyrim back on the 360, where I had the fucking Fluttershy dragon. Oh, that shit was fire.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Holy shit.
It was amazing. Like, she's blowing fire. I mean, I'm like, this is too cute to kill.
Yeah, I've actually never even played vanilla, like, of that game, of Skyrim.
So you can keep that blinker on. You know you're a truck and nobody's gonna let you in, right? I just wanted to verify you know that. Did he fall out the call yet?
I
Man,
don't know.
I'm the last one
It's
to come back with like a mouthful of food. Nigga, when we found out Gordo was harassing me as fucking a creative faggot and shit.
oh,
And fucking Katie's friends came, oh, that's an accident. That is a whole accident. When her friends literally came and fucking was harassing me, calling me a fucking pedophile. Like, nigga, I never fucked that kid. Ever. Ever.
Yeah.
And her mother knew who the fuck I was. Her mother knew about me.
yeah.
So you never
Yeah.
diddled any kids?
No. I had permission to date her daughter. That's all I did was date her.
You okay, Anthony? Did your connection drop?
Yeah, I didn't realize I went to go eat, and then I saw that I was out of the call.
Damn, I
Oh.
Yeah, so we figured for a second, but then it's like, watch him come back either with a mouthful of food or his connection drop. I'm gonna go play the lotto tonight since I got that right. Shit.
But we
Oh,
were
okay.
all saying about stories, and we were like, well, it's only fair Anthony goes first, having to do with Toon.
So what story am I about? Toon?
Whatever.
Because you were
Yeah.
on the in and out. You were in the domain and off the page for the moment, so you have some caveats.
Technically, I didn't really have anything. The only problem I had with the domain was, oddly enough, from Eliora, and I've already covered that whole story. She told me to drop something, and I felt like, it was or else or get kicked. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to make a video, I'm going to drop it off and then leave. And her story was I just didn't want to make you uncomfortable. Now, I don't wish to get into it with Eliora again. I don't feel...
Dumb nigger.
Oh, that was Roockamoo, everybody. I'm not editing it out. Yeah.
Okay.
But no. But now that you brought that up, every time that fucking goddamn like us would, I forgot if it was me and Vita or something like that would like confront Toon about it. He's like, no, I never liked her. He's like, no, fuck her. That's what he would say on a regular basis, and he'd start like asking people. He's like, yeah, I want her out of the domain.
So he really was plotting to get her ass. 'Cause I remember you pushed that on one of the How Not to Bronies.
Yeah, that was fucking like 51, I think, or was it
somewhere around that ballpark. I just watched it a few days ago. I don't remember what number. But
61 or some shit? Yeah, the very first time I gave him the lightest slap on. No, it was 63 when I started. I was like, all right, I'm gonna mention 4 things you fucked up on, just to get the ball rolling.
For the record, I do want to thank you for covering that one topic with the Katie situation. I enjoyed that very.
Which
very
one?
much. Where you approached the fact that I freaking gave him, after the whole twist thing, how he wanted to try to talk to Katie, and I gave him the rules, and he wanted to be petty, and
I agreed with you.
exactly.
Yeah, a lot of his friends afterwards were like, you made a bad political move there. I know you really like Pastel, but I don't know, Anthony. You're kind of fucking up there.
So now that we know what actually happened, did Pastel still fuck up? I need to verify.
I don't. Did I come back and correct you later on?
No, that's what I'm.
I might have told you to chill, but other than that,
You told me to chill. Keychi and Eliora sat me down. So now I hope they watch this, by the way. So now that we're here, guys, I want to hear from you. You know my Skype. So was I really in the wrong? I'm just being honest about this, because to be fair, for the longest time they made me sit here and feel like I was the crazy one. Like,
oh yeah, no, I got that too. I was the crazy one for backing you.
That's what I'm like, and they knew what they did to these other girls. That's what had me all nines and tens. Like, nigga, and he asked Twist if he was gay. I confirmed this from Twist himself. This was before we broke up. This nigga was trying to verify if he was gay or not.
Yeah,
so,
he hit on Chuggle.
That's what I'm like, and you want to know why I had an issue? Y'all were just so lost. Oh, Pastel's just Pastel. No, Pastel's a smart bitch. Y'all the ones retarded. Just want to verify. Got it.
Woke nigga. Oh shit.
They woke.
Yeah.
She ain't no broke nigga. She a woke nigga.
I'm trying to think of any one massive specific moment that really stuck out in my head because I got so tired of like thinking about it and talking about it and going nuts trying to get people like, hey, how about this? Hey, how about this? I'm not making this up. And I'd usually have like Keychi beside me going, hey, this happened. You're free to tell them I'm lying. And she'd be like, no, this happened. I'm like, okay.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, he was a money grabber with Fallen Wish. Wasn't it like that?
Shekel grubbers.
Wasn't there like that BronyCon orgy thing or whatever?
All right, no. I know the lie I told him, but
Fallen.
Yeah,
That's how bad he was.
he was what? That he ripped off Fallen?
He couldn't. He tried. He couldn't even put his dick in her.
Yeah.
Next
Jesus.
topic.
I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
I'd rather not talk about anybody dicking Fallen. Okay?
I want you
I'm
to
not even
imagine.
bestiality.
I want. Oh, you know what? You actually got wronger than I was going to. So fuck it. Ugh. Did he ever hit on you? Oh yeah, he put you in his chats because he thought you were cute, Rocky. Did he hit on you?
Yeah, he did.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, he totally thought fucking
it was
Rocky.
Like, it was like subtle flirting, but still.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He tried to hit on Keychi, but I blocked the fuck out of him.
I think she would have handled that.
Oh, Keychi can handle herself, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even Keychi was like, no.
There was that one time she got really drunk. That one time where she kind of hit on Toon.
I think I remember something like that, or at least like you bringing that up and like making fun of her.
Oh yeah, she's like, I don't ever want to get that drunk ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was
Did it
before.
sound like-
That was before. Yeah, that was when we hadn't gone out and she had turned me down. And she's like, "Why are you doing this to me?" I was like, "Well, the plan is." And I've often found this is the way that you win women over. You break them down a little bit, you know. You have them go out with like some of these duds, so suddenly you look a little better. She's like, "You're an asshole. You're a goddamn monster."
You have that ugly friend, so you look better by comparison.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a couple of Toon Critics, I'll look like a fucking $1 million. It is a little bit better. Alright, start over.
Alright, no, I was saying there was one time we were in a fucking limbo called Drunk Night. I don't think you were there for this part, but we were starting to sober up a little bit, and he was trying to like slide in the DM, so I started singing No Scrubs. She caught on to what I was doing, sung along with me, and then we put on the song for everyone else to hear. Because that message was very clear, my nigga. Like,
Hi, Jim. We're just roasting Toon here, remembering all his greatest moments.
Yep.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. How's your day going so far, Jim?
Well, I'm hungover, but I'm still kind of reeling over this bullshit. Like,
I got really lucky. I got unbelievably lucky because I remember I was on my last legs with Toon Kritic, and I think one of the last things I remembered was Vita's like, "You'll never get rid of Toon," and I'm like, "I'm already, you know what? I'm doing it." I was like,
I'm guessing it's too late to say what's poppin', Jim.
Oh yeah, no, Jim. Let me tell you about the most magical fucking thing in the world. What if I told?
All right,
No. Okay, so anyways, a couple days ago, I wind up like tweeting this at Medicare, and I get his attention, which is oddly enough like the cool thing. He's like, "Oh, I've been doing like blood sports all day. What's going on?" I was like, 20 victims. He's like, "I've been looking at the wrong thing." Horse news.
Hold up. You actually went and attracted Medicare's attention?
I've done it a couple times. Are you kidding me, Jim? I don't learn.
I figured that's like a cold that you wouldn't want to touch after what happened last
Oh, no. Well, this is the funny thing. Like, fucking Horse News, like, 4 hours later, Rendrick from Horse News is like, "Oh, this is da-da-da-da. He's best friends with Toon Kritic. Do you know who saved my ass? Vita citing Kiwi Farms, citing documents that he stole from the Rift, where I am screaming at Toon Kritic going, "I don't want to deal with you anymore, motherfucker," and Toon Kritic telling me to leave him the fuck alone.
Vita came to your rescue?
Citing Kiwi Farms. Yes, Kiwi Farms and Vita saved my ass.
Truly a chaotic neutral. This is insane.
I know, it's beautiful. If that doesn't prove there's a god, I don't know what does.
Like I said, I'm hungover and my head is full of luchadors right now, so...
Oh, nice.
It's just Mexican wrestlers up here. Like, I found out that there's a superhero RPG rule system, and that it has a luchador expansion pack for it. And I've just been, like, researching luchadors for the past, 4 hours.
You could have worded that better, dude. Saying you're full of luchadors.
That way.
All right, I'm not touching it. Anyways, so well, Jim, you're a pretty sexy guy. Did Toon try and put the moves on you?
Not me personally, no.
Okay. So I know you showed up late that one time with
it was literally everybody else, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he put the moves on me too.
So
That's kind of... I bet you feel shitty now, dude.
well, no, I'll be honest with you, right? It was
Not good enough for a fucking pedophile.
yeah, it was BronyCon 2015, I think, where he was there was like a pool party or something, like right before the alleged orgy. Toon was leaning in. I just stared him down. He's like, I guess changelings aren't my thing. I was like, yeah, they're not.
Oh my god.
I was about to say, I'm about to choke a motherfucker.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah, no, I walked Elior and Stardust back to the hotel. Or yeah.
This is the same orgy where he fucked a plushie, right?
Oh.
Okay, so
Same one.
so basically, he got done with the
that on Kiwi Farms. And
The
that
question is,
incredibly
did that
disturbing.
happen? Did that actually happen?
yeah, because okay, here's what happened. It was after the thing. He's like, "Whose plushie is this?" And he just pulled open his boxes and dropped it in.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Now, my original statement to Minty was this: just charge him for the fucking plushie. If he gives you $25, shut the fuck up. If he doesn't, then we'll all dogpile him. And that was all he had to do.
I think you mean we'll all die laughing.
Okay.
Start
Well, okay,
I'll
I'll be honest, I had one of my friends, I was like, hey, if anyone could draw fucking, like, Minty Root hugging his plushie crying. Someone did. Someone did. It was beautiful.
I don't know if I still have that picture or what.
Oh, it's on a couple of thumbnails, I think.
check.
Yeah.
Toon is the fucking Weimar Republic. The level of sexual degeneracy with that guy. Fuck.
Literally anyone, anything.
He's the Harvey Weinstein of the Brony fandom.
He is the Harvey Weinstein.
Jesus Christ.
I was so disappointed in that goddamn call. I wanted to hear Toon lie. I wanted Toon to like really like pull out all the stops and use his full potential to bullshit, which is pretty decent.
The leaked
He
Skype
did.
call?
Yeah, it was so disappointed. I'm like, you're not trying. Come on. I want to do over.
I could not fucking believe that, man. Like, that call was just so fucking hard to listen to, because he...
I only made it 9 minutes.
Like, they were being totally serious, and he didn't even try to deny it.
Oh, I think he was bullshitting with that story. Like, it's like, oh, there was a 17-year-old girl that contacted me and lied about her age. So you pull the same bullshit 3 years later, miss me with the bullshit, my nigga, in the words of Pastel
I swear to
Prose.
God, she said she was 18.
No, I loved Bronny's part where he's like, the minute he started talking about being a furry, he's like, I just started laughing and couldn't control it. He's like, why?
No, fucking. He did try to bullshit after, but he went to a few people who he thought that they didn't get to, because apparently before they made that call, they had gotten to everyone in PM, showed them the logs, let them know what happened, and got pretty much everyone already off the fuck ToonKritic side. But he still went to a few like undergrounds and still got them until I rolled up and helped out, and Keychi got a bunch of them back too, and it's like, no. He still has a support group of something though. He pulled the Sweetie Boo. He's retreated to a support group.
How does he have a fucking support? How are people, like,
He
defending
sucked
this?
people into it.
Well, Jim, are you asking me to speculate here? This is how I would do it. That no good dastardly Vita and FNG are out to get me, so you gotta know it's bullshit. And there's a Horse News article. It has to be bullshit. Come on.
Oh yeah, because Horse News has never reported anything honestly, ever.
Hey, no, I've read the article. Corp did a fine job. I only read one of them. There's two, I think.
The recorded call was staged. That wasn't me. That was someone.
You know, I wondered about that, and I remember thinking to myself, you know, if you had just hung up on the call, you'd have probably had about half your supporters still.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more. That call sunk you deader than fucking fried chicken.
Well, I mean, when they brought him into the call and they were like, "Look, we're going to contact the authorities no matter what."
That should have been click. That should have been click immediately.
I don't know if that would have been worse. Like, what's a worse indicator of guilt? That somebody's like, "We're about to call the cops. 24 hours to turn yourself in," and you just hang up, or you just sit there and try to get them off your ass.
Yeah,
Oh
no
my
kidding.
God.
Well, you know what, Jim? If anybody mentions, let's say in your case, I don't know, if we know about the kilo of coke, or I don't know, whatever it potentially would be,
Kilo.
just hang up. It disconnected on me. I don't know what happened. That's gonna be my official answer.
My internet went down.
Yeah.
My cat unplugged my computer. I
And
don't know
Skype unfriended me from everybody. I don't know what happened.
Coke's too expensive for me.
Yeah.
That's a rich people drug.
Jesus.
Oh, okay, fine. You broke into some government wiki file thing.
Once again, you're assuming a level of competence on my part that I just cannot live up to.
Someone left a super flash drive laying around near you. There you go. You uploaded it and they backtracked it back. There you go.
I edited it in a video. You have to save me. Those screen caps are photoshopped.
All right, now okay.
500 screen caps are Photoshop. That's another thing.
Right.
Oh, hold it.
This is legit because, like, who in their right fucking mind would Photoshop 500 screen caps of Skyclub?
Okay, no. Here's how you do it. No, Jim.
Some dude who reviews ponies on the internet.
All right, so Jim, this is how you do it. So, for example, Limbo has 70 assholes. So you go to about 50 of them and go, each of you do 10 pages each. That's how you get away with that. That's how. See. That's unlikely, but it's a lot more possible than one asshole doing 500. See what I'm saying? You could lie your way out of that. That call sunk him. He had room to bullshit until that came out.
We're not saying we just...
No. I look. I'll go one better than, like I said, I'll go one better than what Jerry said. I don't want him to go to prison and get murdered instantly. I want him to go to jail, get beat the fuck down several days in a row until he can't take it anymore and he handles it himself. That's what I want.
I actually, my father went to prison and he told me stories. If you're a pedophile, they have a hierarchy in prison.
Yeah, no, hon, wait, this is common knowledge, hon.
You're immediately at the bottom.
Yeah.
No, not even that though. They make your life hell.
Yeah, no, he knows. We all know. We've all watched movies.
That's a well-known prison trope right there.
Yep.
Wait,
Seen the
it
documentaries,
Pedos
man.
are not treated well.
Wait, it is?
Yeah, that's something that like literally everybody knows about. Is that if you go to prison and you're arrested for pedophilia or like grooming an underage girl, like lots of prisoners have like kids and shit. So
Yeah.
they don't take kindly to pedos.
Okay, so let me explain this to you, Jim. Buttons here is my girlfriend. She is a level 10 cinnamon roll. Like she'll
I'm
like.
not a cinnamon roll.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Now, Jim, I'm waiting for you like to look up, and like I'm waiting for Buttons to look up and going, Jim, if you ever go to prison, don't drop the soap, and she'll act like it's like a surprise.
Yeah.
What
happens when you drop the soap? Does someone else pick it up?
I just assume you kick it over towards the wall. Yeah, I suppose.
I know what that is.
Try and hack it up, you know.
I've seen Family Guy.
Yeah.
She's so innocent.
You act like that's Seal.
Get Family Guys where you get all your.
Lord.
Okay, so my whole thing is, I have an inside who was telling me about some of the stories from the domain in which he hit on his own friends, not mentioning names. Some of them made their responses. My whole thing is, why was that not the red fucking flag? When this nigga knew you were in a whole relationship and he's like, hey, baby girl, let me slide in my DMs. You didn't like, no, nigga, what the fuck? Like, nobody? Y'all just okay with it? Excuse me?
No, that kept happening. And I remember like turning to my people and going, why? The person who really spelled it out, and I had to get permission from the person they're dating, was Foolery. Where I'm like, why are you going back there? It's not for Toon. I want to be around Toon's friends.
Exactly. Like, the fuck?
I think what a lot of people don't understand.
How far away are you away from home, Pastel? Because that.
I am right here.
Okay.
Hey.
So let's hold off for a little bit. Just make some casual BS. I don't want to lose.
Just shitpost.
Yeah.
Okie
Just
dokie.
yeah. Bunk.
By the way, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Jim Pierce, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you formally.
Yeah, nice
No,
to
you
meet
should say what's poppin', Jimbo.
But yeah, no, Medicre's been really cool. I tried to even get on one of his fucking podcasts, and I've heard, like, his response was, oh, I guess this one's not added. I like to think deep down inside he just didn't have me on because he fucking let me off the hook. But no, I've tried to contact him before. I tipped him off.
I think he actually likes you as a person.
I don't know. I'm not going to go that far. I think he...
Or he tolerates you. He doesn't mind
Yeah.
you.
No, I'm not going to fucking say, it's like, no, we're best boys. And that, nope, not that crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with him, is that like once he does the video, it's just kind of like over. He doesn't really go back to it unless the person does something extraordinarily fucked up. That
Right
just
after
kind of
that, it's
draws his
just
attention.
nothing personnel, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he have a fucking thing for Sonic too? Like he had a thing for Sonic and Shadow and all that shit.
Who? Oh, Toon?
Fucking god.
Oh no, like a long fucking time ago, he did this like concept of this like proof of concept video for the I want to say it was like the Internet Insanity thing or something, where he wrote he actually went out and wrote like scat Sonic parody fanfic.
Okay, well, one button. You
It's
didn't.
ironic.
Okay.
Button. You didn't.
I can do
You didn't
better.
verify who you were
I
talking
can
about.
do you better.
Or no,
June
that was it.
actually
He
wrote
found
out
a guy.
fucking-
He found a guy who did that, and then he animated it just to make fun of the guy.
Okay. Well, you know what? I guess I don't need to go back and clarify who was talking about what there. So, exactly.
It's ironic autism is still autism.
Yeah.
What?
It depends how long it lasts. You do something fast enough, you can get away with it. Yeah. No, you're fine. Don't worry about it, button.
I wish Asperger's was terminal.
What?
Don't worry about it, button.
June actually wanted to fucking write. He actually went as far as to write a fucking fan fiction about two cars fucking.
I thought
What?
it was Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, that sounds
No.
more likely.
Yeah.
Wasn't
and
that
that's
Dark Edge that
didn't,
did that
like,
one?
Read out the fan fiction out loud. He actually wrote out like a whole entire parody porn fucking story about like these two trucks that were fucking. I forget what they were. I think they were called Yuffie and Fetty.
Was he doing like a
Betty
parody
was
of
big
the Aerosmith album cover?
Back.
Welcome back.
Yo.
No fucking clue. I mean, it was a funny story at the time, but goddamn.
Well, I know
Who
about the
knows
Thomas
that
the
shit?
Tank Engine thing. I know about the Thomas the Tank Engine thing because I read that Kiwi Farms thread. And holy shit!
Do I sound better now or what?
I'm traumatized.
I don't know. What do you have your regular mic or what?
See, this is why you're a cinnamon roll.
I am not a cinnamon roll, you fuck up. I mean, you shut the fuck. I mean.
Jim, you should hear how Sapphire tortures my girlfriend. She calls her the Dragon Lolly constantly.
How dare you say that? How dare you tell him that?
We got fan art of that.
How dare you?
I don't. Rocky.
Yo.
Why they?
Rocky, shut the fuck or get the fuck.
All right.
You guys hear me?
Yeah?
Yes.
That's way better now. Holy shit.
Way better? Okay, cool. That's the blue snowball. Making sure it's connected.
By the way, Anthony, she was calling you your little snookle doodle or whatever. But
All right, now I don't need more to edit out. I hurt you.
Make her stop. It was so. Oh, I'm so
Well, yeah, thank you, Pastel. That's why you're my favorite
like,
henchman.
this is why you're a fucking cinnamon roll right there, Button.
I am not
When
cinnamon
Buttons does
roll.
it, it's not annoying. That's the difference.
I am not.
You guys are actively trying to give me fucking diabetes over here.
Well, I'm not doing a damn thing.
You
God.
didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I am not a
Jim, does Jim
cinnamon
have
roll.
any stories or what?
Oh, Jim, I gotta ask a question. This is somewhat off topic. Do you, what's the name of that freaking alt-right cartoon, Rocky?
Oh, Murdoch.
Yeah, what do you think of Murdoch, Jim?
Oh god, yeah, Murdoch is fucking amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so
It
good.
is funny as shit. It's legitimately some of the best parody on the internet.
Even if you're not alt-right, it's still good stuff.
Well, that's the thing is that it makes fun of the alt-right poll tier people.
Oh, yeah, no.
But at the same time, like, you can tell that these people like marinate their brains in this shit constantly to be able to parody it so well.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Now it sounds
Like,
better.
what was the one, the 100% Bavarian phenotype?
Yeah. Purity spiralers.
Yeah, that was
I'm
one of
basically
the
a
funniest
potato
fucking
nigger.
cartoons I've ever seen. It turns out at the end that the guy's like 2% Romanian after he's become the god king of the ethno state.
Don't worry about it, hon.
Nothing Buttons.
Yes, we're totally not talking about the alt-right.
You're not gonna find it on YouTube. Put it like that.
What exactly is the alt right and the alt left? I'm sorry, I'm just extremely
Please,
confused on
please
the
stay
concept.
innocent and be that
We
way.
can get into that some other time.
Yes,
Stay innocent and be that way.
I'm
Yeah.
not innocent. Fuck you.
sure.
Anyway, so Anthony.
Yeah?
So since you were in the domain, and you kind of like hinted at it like in 4 fucking How Not to Bronies, how much shit did they sweep under the rug? Because apparently they knew about Crescendo. Apparently they knew about Massive. Who else was there?
Yeah, there wasn't, like, I was only in there for, like, about maybe, I was in there long enough to do a How Not to Brony, so I'm gonna say 2 weeks at tops. Because I remember, like I said, I got annoyed, I winded up leaving. I wasn't in the domain long, and it wasn't, like, super fun. The only thing that was interesting is that, like, Keychi was, like, nice and a human being in calls, and I was creeped out. She's like, hi, how is everybody? And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Where's my Keychi?
Was she drunk at the time?
No, she just was actively, I'm like, where's the Keychi that kicks orphans downstairs? What the fuck is this? Jesus.
I don't think she's that horrible a person.
I didn't say it was horrible. I'm just saying that's the Keychi I know.
She has different attitudes. She treats certain people different than others.
Oh yeah,
She made
that's
us
true.
uncomfortable in that room then.
Yeah.
Because she did bitch about it a lot to me. She was like, oh my god, she's like, I feel like I'm babysitting. And I'm like, so you do that to yourself, by the way. Congratulations. I'm like, they made this beautiful invention where you can leave the conversation.
Yeah.
If it is that much of a strain, just
It's
dip.
not an invention. That's a fucking.
It's a feature.
It's not a glitch.
It's free. but that shit was killing me. She was telling me about that shit, and I kind of knew from the beginning I wasn't supposed to know about that kid stuff, but I had people on the inside. I was like, thank you.
I'd like to give special thanks for Pastel for being the one who told me.
So Pastel, you got friends on the other side.
Yeah.
I got friends on the
Yeah.
other
The other side. Oh yes. Thank you for referencing that video I showed you, Rocky. God bless.
Voodoo hoodoo. No, but it's funny because someone I was actually at one point romantically involved with was in the domain, not Twist, another person, and they were feeding me this shit, and I'm like,
Wait, what are we talking about?
Toon's group is called The Domain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Was. I'm
Full of
told
leaks.
it's gone now.
I imagine it would be gone if fucking everything else is. Like, he shut down his Tumblr, his YouTube channel, his Twitter, everything's just gone. He tried to scrub himself from the internet.
The Patreon and the Twitch are still up, and his cartoons channel is still up.
His cartoon's Twitter is still up too.
I've never seen anyone self-show it.
Mr. Toon fucking critic.
Well, truth be told, I can't say beyond a shadow of a doubt if he took it down. Well, remember, the channel name is ToonKritic Y2K. There's a pro wrestler by the name of Chris Jericho Y2K. He might have DMCA'd him when he found out he was a pedophile and be like, I don't want this asshole with my shtick.
That's
sincerely
implying that
doubt.
Chris Jericho pays attention to pony
The
shit.
pony shit.
He-
Exactly.
Toon has gone to like pro wrestling things and like gotten signatures and shit, so they might know about him.
I don't know if that is like sad or really funny. The idea that Chris Jericho is like into ponies and pays attention
Is
to
he
the
really?
analysis fandom on you. I don't know. That's the thing. If like he DMCA'd Toon about the whole Y2K thing, then that would imply that someone around him or him himself pays attention to this kind of shit.
Like, that's what he was earning before this whole fiasco went underway. And
Before
let me
and now.
snip.
So there's 23 patrons in before.
Yeah, even when I got the snapshot, it was like
Yeah, he was
130
earning
something.
that much before.
Alright.
And this is now.
35.
Oh shit!
It could be lower.
It could be lower.
Why does he have that many in the first place? He shouldn't even be having that many.
Well, you know what? There were a lot of people who, tried to buddy up to him or some shit.
They were pro pedogate. That's what that was.
I'm not.
It blows my mind that people that we have all of this evidence out here. We've got the leaked chat. We've got the Skype call. What was it? There was another big piece of evidence that I can't remember right now. But
A lot. Oh, yeah, I got it.
and
Right.
like the Kiwi Farms thread has everything in it, and it is.
Well, to be fair, Jim, not
Yeah, like they practically have the fucking Podesta email. Like Kiwi Farms could probably find Hillary Clinton's lost emails if they wanted to.
to be fair, Jim. It's like I've always told Cloud, who reads. That's why I said the video mattered more than any damn thing else.
I think the reason people might defend him is because they themselves might have the same moral views as him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. Yes.
The funniest fucking thing to me, though, is that he tried to justify it with, well, the age of consent in the Philippines is 12 years old, so I didn't technically do anything.
What if the child consents?
Jesus.
I actually
It's like, we're not living in fucking Ancapistan, dude. You can't just do whatever you want.
Somebody needs to draw Toon like he has the he's holding the sunglasses with one hand and he's doing the thumbs up with the other, like the meatball.
Oh my god.
Please make it happen.
Rocky, remember you posted that thing, if you could shoot Toon's head under the meme from the virtuous pedophile?
The what?
I'm a pedophile, but you're the monsters.
No, there's a movement called virtuous pedophile. You didn't know this, Safi?
What?
Oh, I thought
What?
who went? Oh my
That
god!
was me.
Oh, it's on. Yeah, there's it was on a news site with Salon.
I believe, or either Salon or the Guardian. I forget.
I think it was Salon because I remember like catching a video about that,
Yeah,
and I'm
probably
like, this
Salon.
is a thing now. Okay.
You know what we need to do?
It's ridiculous that it's so likely that it would be either one of those publications. I
I'm
can't remember,
almost
like,
110% sure it's Salon.
We're past the point of slippery slope, dude. It's like a straight drop.
That's the thing. I don't even think that the slippery slope fallacy is an actual fallacy.
It's not a
anymore.
fallacy.
It's an actual thing that happens that we need to take very seriously from now on. Because, like, back in the 90s, it was like, we can't let the gays get married, because then they'll be, like, fucking each other in their front lawns, and, you know, they'll try to convert kids into homosexuals.
Oh, okay. Here's what I want to tackle.
2018, and they're trying to, like, they're literally trying, like, the crazy right-wing Christians from the 90s were right.
Well, no, hold it. This is something that always drove me nuts when I'd be in pub crawl. I'd listen to Goat Jesus, like, talking to Digi, and he's like, well, don't worry, Digi, my people respect your people.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? So
Who is
because-
their people?
Yep, he was referring to, like, how Digi was, like, into Lolicon and shit like that.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I just got there, so I was like, what?
No, guys, you know what we need to do? Had kids, had husbands, had wives. Just put Toon Kritic's face. Or
Careful with that meme there. It's an antique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dust that one off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Also going off topic, Misanthropony, you're a fucking cuck. There I
So
said
are you,
it.
Dulcet Tones?
yeah, Dulcet, you're a cuck.
Oh, Safi, did Toon ever hit on you?
Dulcet, hold up. Dulcet.
Uh,
I was right!
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm missing something here.
Okay, so let me explain.
Okay.
There's this guy named Dulcet Tones or some shit like that. And earlier I was annoyed because fucking Voice of Reason was having a fucking stream. And I see Solar Flare, one of my guys in there going, oh, we didn't know about da-da-da-da-da. And we were, no. It was like, we were always intending to release this. And I was like, Solar, you fucking lying sack of shit. You told me that there was never any intent to do that. And I'm fucking having a goddamn meltdown. I'm screaming about it in the Secret Rift. Yeah, and fucking Dulcet Tones, you're just mad because your friends don't want to hang out with you anymore. I'm like, I want to strangle this motherfucker.
He started this shit on Twitter
And the
first.
Misanthropony can go fuck themselves.
Alright, I got it. Yeah.
The reason why I don't like Dulcet is because, by the way, Jim, you don't know me, I'm the crazy Hispanic chick. But anyway, so, back in Limbo. Back in, alright. Back in Limbo, I was dating this chick named Katie for a while. She was 16, I was 21, I had parental consent, and we never had sex or did whatever Toon did with that 12-year-old chick. So, at the time, Toon was trying to talk to her on a quote-unquote professional level. Now, funny, you didn't know she existed forever until we started hanging out. So now all of a sudden, you want to be everywhere she is. So I gave him a set of rules. You want to talk to my girl? Here's what you're going to abide by. He got lippy, so I went into limbo and was going for his head, and I was going to rip him apart. Dulcet, at the time, who is the biggest female than all of us, decided that he wanted to sit there and call out my insecurities about this relationship when he was freshly dumped. Fresh! Like, this was great. But she just literally dropped him like a hot pocket.
Was that the first or the second time?
The second time.
Alright, let's clarify that second time. So anyways, Secret Dreamer had just finished up with Dulcet Tones. Here's the problem. Freaking, he's like, I just want to go to the convention to hand out my business cards and not talk to you. And that's when she dumped him. And he's like, she won't talk to me, she won't give me closure. And we're like, yeah, she didn't have to.
I think he told me that when we were at BronyCon, actually.
Oh, no, he went on and on about that, and I was like, Keychi, go yell at him. She's like, she doesn't have to. Dulcet, she doesn't have to. Grow the fuck up. Be a goddamn adult. I like to believe that she reminded him he has a child, but she probably forgot.
That's why it's like, fuck this shit. That's why I screamed I was right, because he literally sat there and was trying to lick Toon's balls. Little did you know, I was right all along. Thank you, have a nice day.
Where is Keychi? I would expect that she would be all over something like this.
Alright, you know what, I'll ask her.
She would have more of the stories than anyone, because she literally bitched about his chat on the daily. She's like,
Supposed to figuratively.
deal with it.
Yeah.
On the-
My personal experience with Toon was short. Basically, he just we never really talked at first. Like, it was just he added me on Skype randomly one day, and I just talked to him idly very few times. And I was always the first to message, being like, hey, I have a question about this. Hey, I'm doing an art piece. Hey. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, one day I get, hi, I hear you're going to BronyCon. Block!
Yeah.
To be fair, I
Hey,
have one of
girl.
the best memories. I just recalled one of the best memories. Keychi was a part of this. I love this shit. Back when I was one of the freshes in Limbo, like I was brand new off the market. I was dating this dude named Anime Wolf Gamer. This is hella ancient. And hold on, it gets better. We were in the Limbo call, and I was sitting there, I was gushing because it was like our however many months anniversary. And Zach had the balls to bust out and say, so let me ask this. Why anime? And Keychi came up with the back, hold up, nigga, why Eliora? And he's like, fair point. And I was like, and she was the best. I was like, dude, because he was trying to send. I'm glad he never hit on me. I think I scared him the moment I called him out for not having a job, and then continued to abuse him for not having a job. And yeah.
Boy.
That's what I really want to see, Jim. I really want to see ToonKritic get a job.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, he'll have plenty
Good
of
luck
jobs
now.
to do in prison.
McDonald's would hire that boy.
He'll have plenty of jobs to do in prison. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And
most of them being
bitch.
on his knees.
and then after I caught him with his shit, he let me know I was unwanted everywhere. Like, he would tell me shut the fuck up straight out. He would talk over me. He would ignore me. He would let me know my presence was not wanted. He would mentally fucking abuse me at times. And he had his power, and no one ever took notice.
Well, hun, you didn't tap me on the shoulder about that.
Yeah, I know, because I thought, like, no one else said anything either, so I just kind of shut up about it, I guess.
Well, all right. Well, there you go. For everybody, or anybody who says I don't pay attention to my chat, I don't. Just because people have to tell me this shit.
Yeah. That's why I didn't say anything to you, because I didn't know if you pay attention to your chat or not. So I just said, well, if he saw that and didn't say anything, then I'm not gonna say anything.
No, I would have
To
slapped
be
the shit out of
fair-
Toon for you.
To be fair, Zach literally has all that fucking... Like, I remember when I went off on him about the Katie thing and shit, like, I went to order vectors from fucking Bliss, and, you know, I was talking to her, I was like, yo, we cool? And she's like, I don't like the way you talk to Zach, but, I mean, you pay for your commissions. And I was like, okay. We're cool. I paid.
You know what?
I paid my way.
I like both of you. I'm just staying out of that one. And there's, you know what? Usually
No,
past it.
I'm not mad at her or anything. I get where she's coming from, but now we know, and knowing's half the battle.
Yeah.
What happened?
I do remember fucking Kikyo coming up to me going, you know, what's the big deal about Toon?
What's the deal?
And it wasn't, she's like, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, what's the big deal? Like, no, but we all know he's a faggot. And I'm like, I just don't want to fucking deal with this motherfucker any goddamn more, and I'd prefer less people did.
I love the fact that a few weeks before all this happened, you had your instincts and you said, I'm dropping you like a fucking...
I did that as quietly as I could, and I remember when I put that out, I saw Lightning Bliss's response in the fucking chat where she's like, ... I'm like, you're surprised by that? You're disappointed by that? I'm not. I felt really good about that.
I remember that being a thing in the Kiwi Farms thread. They were linking you and Toon and talking about how buddy you were, and then like a month or two before all of this shit dropped with him being a pedo, you dropped his ass like a hot rock. And
I could explain.
People in the Kiwi Farms thread were like, you know, well, what the fuck is up with this?
He almost got one of my favorite artists to commit suicide.
Like, it looked like it looked to them like it was damage control. Like, you knew all of this was happening.
Nope, didn't know about any of that.
Be associated with it.
I have a big mouth, Jim.
Let's
for everybody listening, I think all my friends and enemies can verify Anthony Aguilar would not be able to shut up about someone being a pedophile.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. That couldn't. Yeah, if you're a pedo, don't tell me, because the world will find out shortly.
Why would they tell you anyway?
Yeah.
They told me, but I was told before Anthony. That has to tell you something. And my mouth, I think my mouth, no, his mouth's bigger.
I didn't, like, I remember the only reason I was sitting there screaming at Vita is because someone's like, oh, it's the director. And I'm like, you motherfucker, I told you about this goddamn asshole. Why the fuck aren't you doing anything? Sheldon was feeding me bad intel, and Vita, like, eventually kept telling me, no, it's Toon. And then fucking finally Pastel told me it was Toon, and I was in the middle of a conversation with, like, because I was having a back and forth with this asshole named Chuggle. And I was like, is that it? And he's like, well, I can't say that he's not a pedophile. I was like, see, the problem with that is, Chuggle, is that usually when you ask if someone's a pedo or not, the correct answer is no. I can't think of any situation where it's not the correct answer unless it's yes. Yeah, there's only one time where maybe it's yes.
Wait, so
be
what?
fair-
Chuggledy-Buggle?
Yes.
Yes.
Was he defending Toon?
No, he just didn't want to squawk.
Yeah, because there was nobody wanted to tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And then,
Oh wait, so nobody wanted to tell you personally
and here's my big.
because they knew you were going to flip your shit about it.
Yeah, that was exactly it. My whole goddamn crew wouldn't tell me because I wouldn't fucking goddamn from Solar Flare to Irish John to Keychi to apparently Pastel at first. Nobody told me because they knew I had a big mouth. Now here's what the deal would have been. If they would have said, we're going to tell you this, but you have to shut up about it for about a week or such and such a time, I might have been able to do that. But because they didn't, guess what happened? Vita got to do it. Vita got to look like a nice guy. And
to be fair, I had to...
did you see that video, by the way, Jim? It's pretty good.
That was my introduction to this whole bullshit. Like, a friend of mine, just like, I woke up hungover one day. Just like, hungover as shit. I had killed like a 12-pack the night before.
You're going to say I killed a 12-year-old?
I killed a 12-pack the night before, so I was hungover as shit. And I just woke up to one of my friends getting in touch with me over Discord and was like, well, it looks like Toon's a pedo. And I was like, well, back up.
You don't understand. I've talked to.
They linked me Vita's video, and I went and watched it, and they linked me the Skype call as well, and I listened to all of that shit while I was browsing like the Horse News article and the Kiwi Farms thread, and just like had this sinking feeling. Just I felt sick, and not just like hungover sick, but like nauseous for a good like 4 or 5 hours straight while I was reading all of this stuff. Like I could not fucking believe it. But then the evidence just got too much. It got to be too much. There was too much on him. I was forced to admit that, yeah, he fucking did this. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I unfollowed him. I dropped him from my Skype contacts and everything like that. And now we're here.
Yeah.
Fake news, Goyim.
And I have to admit, Vita's video was very well made. I like Vita's content if it's used for the correct purpose.
Well, I'll put it this way. It got to the point. It did everything it was supposed to, and he put the cheap shot right where it needed to be at the bare end, which I do somewhat, even though I've talked to some of them and they've walked it back, I do feel that there's a level of consistency and, the group not exactly handling things heads on. And I did talk to one of them, which I'll retract the name now, and nobody blur it out so I don't have to edit it later. Yeah, just handle it shit head on and don't just treat it like it's drama next time, okay? Because there will be a next time.
Especially with something like this. Like, this isn't the kind of thing, like, somebody, like, drunkenly broke someone at a convention or something. Like, that's just, like, stupid drama bullshit. It's, a mistake, whatever.
Well, how many times they do it, though?
Yeah, if it just happens the one time, it's just stupid drama bullshit. But, like, actively grooming a 14-year-old girl for a
Nobody
year.
knew that, though, until the victim came out, though, is the thing.
And that I remember even saying, I think I don't know if I said this to Rocky in an event, and a couple of them where I was like, let me give you a little fucked up story here. What if this is the tip of the iceberg? And even Vita flinched at that, and I said, what if there's more? And there has been. That's the other obnoxious thing.
We're not doing that.
No, that did happen. And here's the thing: is people went to Vita because they felt safe talking to Vita over the people who covered the fuck up. And I can't even tell them they're wrong. Can I honestly look at them and be like, no, you're better off talking to the people.
To protect Toon or whatever. Everybody was trying to get Toon arrested.
Yeah, but they didn't know. But
we were still in shock and trying to deal with it.
Yeah, I know. But from looking on the outside, looking in, it wasn't the only person that they had to talk to was probably the person you normally wouldn't. It was handled so shit ass backwards.
Yeah. Exactly. Because it's to the point where it wasn't a freaking... How many more? And y'all, the thing is, I even pulled that shit with Solar, so I'm like, okay, so you guys were going to tell us eventually. So in that time of eventually, what if he didn't get arrested? What if they didn't catch his ass? What if there was more? And y'all didn't tell nobody, so guess
Yeah,
what?
that was Vita's point.
More hassles if it happens again after y'all found the shit out. So it's like, really?
What really gets me about all of this, though, is that, like, these people actively tried to keep this on the down low instead of just, like, we have the evidence, we're going to the authorities, and just releasing like, nobody released a statement until they had to. And that really bothers me.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
No,
how many
that's
other people
wrong.
knew about this?
That's not what happened, though.
That's
People actually went to the okay, they actually turned in the report to the police and whatnot before all this got leaked out as the thing.
Yeah, Jim, according to Aeon, the call was stalling him so he wouldn't warn people, and try and give him his story. That they'd already handed it off to the FBI by that time. That they were just, they had him on the rope like a dope at that point.
So
and I agree with that.
Given public knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, I guess that makes sense, until you contact the authorities and everything like that, but I mean, we had to wait for somebody to go to Vita.
Yeah.
I love Vita to death. I got nothing but love.
Oh, especially now. Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah.
But, that's not exactly the kind of person that I would expect to break something like this.
We didn't want it to come out Vita. Okay, I'm trying to explain this and trying to get my thoughts all clear, and it's not working out. I mean, yeah, I guess we could have, brought it all out in the open with people and, been completely honest about them, but I don't know, how the fuck do you tell people, hey, our friend was a pedophile and we didn't know it until a victim came to us and gave us evidence?
By releasing the evidence.
You say that.
You say it. You release the evidence.
It wasn't even the point where I basically was like, we don't know how to handle this. You know who I looked up as an example? Robin 0928 statement that came out a day later where he apologized. Again, he's a young kid, relatively speaking. He's not responsible for this. Made an apology. I'm really sorry, guys. And I looked at that short, sweet, to the point, and I'm like, this is what all those other people should have said. And he's not responsible. Fuck, that drove me nuts.
I haven't heard Robin's name brought up in any of this.
Oh, let me send you the statement. It's beautiful. It was it was poetry.
To be fair, I've told from the jump, there was at least 40 of them who knew. 40 to 20 was somewhere around that double-digit number.
Holy shit, this
and
volume is loud. Hold on.
And they did not release statements on any of this. They had to wait for somebody, because the thing is that with groups of any size, unless it's just you and 2 or 3 friends, with groups of any size on the internet, there are going to be leaks. So assume that nothing that you say, nothing that you do within these groups is private.
And to be fair, I found out that because they were a lot of pissy people after it got leaked and Vita made the video. They were more pissed off at the fact that it got leaked than the fact that the information was handled the way that it was, which really chapped my ass. Because you're mad that someone literally got out information that was vital for all. Do you know how many fucking kids we have here? Impressionable at that?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah,
90% of them will subscribe to him.
That's the thing, is that we have I'm not really in the brony fandom anymore. I'm kind of doing my own thing with the
I got it, Jim.
Literature and writing, but there are a lot of kids in this fandom, and to have people like that running around and to have other people know about it and not do anything really makes me question those other people's motives. People like Josh Scorcher, and I'm cool with them. I don't even know the guy, but I don't think that he actively did anything wrong.
I agree with you till I found out what I just did before this podcast.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna shatter my little worldview here.
Oh no, I thought the same thing too. I was like, you know what? I'll Solar Flare said that they were like, we were gonna release it until Josh told us to bury it.
That's true.
Are you fucking serious?
Fuck.
Okay, so this is what happened. I said this on... Hi, also. I heard I was summoned. But anyway. This is what happened. I said this on stream, but I'll say it here again. Essentially, British Ninja brought it to me, and I was like, okay, first thing we need to do is inform all of his close friends and coworkers and whatnot, so he can't, go to people and spin the story. So we started doing that, bringing in people into a chat room one by one to explain what's going on, give them time to cope and whatnot. And our original plan was to get everyone informed first, and then we were going to tell Toon that he had one chance to, basically confess to people in the domain, in his YouTube channel and all that. And if he showed any signs of not doing that, then we were going to release it. So we were going with that until we worked ourselves up to, Josh and Silverquill. And first thing, they were like, okay, well, first we need to put it through to whatever FBI website or whatever. So we did that, and then they were like, okay, so we don't want... essentially, they convinced us to not go public with it. That's
And
the
Silver
long
Quill.
and short of it.
And Silver Quill.
Oh my god. So Josh and Silverquill both wanted to bury this?
Yeah, they convinced us to just submit the report to the authorities, distance ourselves, cut them out of everything, which we were going to do anyway. But yeah, we were going to go public with it, and then they convinced us not to.
Like, how retarded are these two? Like, I'm just like, fuck both of them. Are they fucking stupid?
Oh.
Are they absolutely goddamn retarded?
Oh, Uncle Jim.
I love you.
Yes.
Rolling on themselves, wearing helmets, banging their heads against fire hydrants, licking the windows on the fucking short bus. Retarded.
Oh, I may have an engagement ring for you, Jim. That was beautiful.
Pure poetry.
Oh.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. This is the thing. This is one of the biggest reviewers in the fandom who's done this thing. He knows everybody. He knows people who aren't even in the fandom anymore. He's got a whole shit ton of subscribers. Lots of them are kids, because this is a kid's show after all. Did they think that this was not going to go public?
Well,
Like,
that's the thing.
There's
The whole
no way in fucking hell this stays a secret. I don't care how hard
that's
you
the
try to
thing.
bury it.
That's the thing. We knew that it was eventually going to leak. We were saying it the whole time. We were like, look, this is probably going to get out at some point. Like, we already knew it was going to leak. We just didn't know when. And, at the end of the day, we all agreed to it.
But just,
Yeah, I mean, but
why?
still, yeah, why? Like, how did nobody sit there and say, look, guys, this is going to go public eventually. We definitely don't want to be caught on the wrong side of this and look like we're protecting a pedophile or trying to close the lid on this kind of thing. This seems like the kind of thing to me that when you have a fandom with a lot of kids in it and it's revealed that there's a pedophile in the fandom, you got to make a statement. You got to make an example out of that motherfucker to let other pedophiles know that this is not a safe place for you. And if we find you, we're going to report you to the FBI.
That's the point. That's what we did. We also reported him to all the con heads and all the liaison and everyone we knew.
Yeah,
we just didn't feel the need to we didn't feel the need to make a public thing about it because one, the victim didn't want us to. She's unstable. Everyone we're talking to is unstable. Emotions are running high.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
They
the thing.
still are, especially with this whole leakage.
Yeah.
So in the amount of time, though, because y'all said
Hi, this is FNGR, and we'll still be covering ToonGate as well as a few other things. This is from Pencil Note Draws. With some serious allegations I will read off now. This is the Burning Donut. Originally, I cut ties with the Burning Donut. Some of that being, he was never around. With all full honesty, Donut likes the wrong kind of hentai. He also says some really dumb, stupid shit. But Donut always said dumb, stupid shit. Donut's always had weird political hang-ups about women, and I've never cared. When Donut talked about his creepier hentai interests, I've told him to shut up in the past. I point this out because recently ToonKritic was caught ERPing, and more importantly, grooming a teenager to meet up with in real life. There are two pretty big differences. I've talked to Vita, who suggested that Donut is likely a pedophile. So let's look at this. You in the audience. Have you ever looked at, let's say, Sailor Moon hentai? You do know that those girls are in high school. Have you ever looked at Ranma ½ hentai? How about Inuyasha? Let's say, and I know this takes some imagination, that a healthy chunk of the girls in anime are of high school or younger age. See, again, I'm not apologizing for putting a healthy distance between myself and the Burning Donut. Donut does say some creepy, stupid things. But he always has. There is a healthy amount of people who have addressed ToonKritic and his sexual misconduct, or rather his conduct behind the scenes, that have been levied either from personal complaints about his wandering hands, among other things. I don't know a single person who's accused the Burning Donut of being grabby, stupid, bullheaded, moronic, retarded, likely into the wrong hentai. To the best of my knowledge, no one is covering up for the Burning Donut, and there are no complaints about him. That said, I'm going to complain about the Burning Donut now. Alright, Donut. I respect relationships. There is going to be a paradox of sorts in this. Obviously, that paradox being a 14 to 15-year-old shouldn't be dating a 20-something-year-old man. The Burning Donut's complaint here is that the victim is in the wrong for being angry that Toon Kritic cheated on her, that her turning on him is out of spite. Dear Donut, 1. Why, pray tell, is the victim honor-bound to cover up for Toon's infidelity? Let's pretend that the girl were, let's say, even 18. She would have been well within her rights in the world to be pissed at Toon Kritic for fucking around. Donut, I cut Toon off before any of this crap went down. I had my fill of that individual, despite a lot of my friends willing to drink Toon's bullshit smoothie on a regular basis. 2. As for going to Vita, who else did she have to go to? As the story goes, British Ninja was the one who cracked the story from the first victim. Now, as the story goes, British Ninja was the one who spoke to the victim first, who got the ball rolling. Now, this is my own personal salt. If this girl saw British Ninja as someone in tight with the Get Along gang, that's Toon Kritic's old ex-crew, and she thought she didn't entirely trust them, I mean, personally, I threw Ninja the fuck out of limbo when this story broke. When he showed up and tried to say, "Guys, I'm back!" and I insta-kicked him. British Ninja has done this before. In the third analysis rift, he stood up to kick out Fallen Wish after everything else had already gone horribly wrong. The gesture was mostly symbolic. Despite Toon being a giant fuck-up, British Ninja attached himself to Toon's room, claiming that he had studies to do, that he had no time to talk to me, and only to turn around and whine about his Steam library on Twitter on a regular basis. By all means, go check out his Twitter now. Here, let's read off one of these. British Ninja does have time. He's just not interested in helping anyone other than himself. He is, in fact, not interested in finding the next person who might be willing to replace him in the community after he lost his passion for it. And no, I won't let that die. If today another girl came forward about one of Toon's ex-friends, I would not suggest going to British Ninja. They, despite whatever this video says, due to the interactions of one individual, due to the actions of two individuals that we'll get to later, you guys in the audience, including myself, were never supposed to know anything about this. I've been told a lot of things and I've had to keep things close to the chest. Well, until How Not to Brony 61. There are people who were never interested in telling you anything. Hell, as far as the rift went, Toon suddenly left the room, and I was kept in the dark. Hell, as far as the secret rift, when Toon suddenly left the room, I was kept in the dark. I'm not angry at my friends. Those friends being Solar Flare, Keychi FIM, Irish John. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. But I want to be clear about that. When I say my friends, I mean my friends from Limbo. Now, I've had some complaints and issues with the whole situation and how it was handled. I had a lengthy discussion with Lightning Bliss, and I feel everything was explained to me to my complete satisfaction, to the point where I feel I came off a bit entitled. Unfortunately for you guys, I'm not supposed to share that here. I have forgiven Bliss. Some other people have forgiven Bliss. There are some people who haven't. Vita and his company have issues. When he's ready to discuss that publicly, I will not dismiss it out of hand. But I think moving forward, there should be a more open discussion in addition to these videos. I myself have had a healthy sit down with Vita and Jace. Those two individuals have gotten the ball rolling as far as the public eye goes. Plus, whoever it was who leaked the call, these might not be the heroes that everyone wanted, but they got the job done. Fuck you, Will. Fuck you and your flaming thespian man's glee club ass. That's what this is. I'm going to tell you what this is really about. Toon fucked up so bad that this lazy motherfucker had to get up and do something. A lot of the people who wanted to cover up Toon Kritic's sexual misconduct are the same people who wanted to bury the KP story. You might say, FNGR, that's apples and oranges. No, the standard default answer with issues, with drama, have been, with this crew, well, to quote a line from Frozen, conceal, don't feel. Keyframe could have publicly spoke up at any time telling you what a god-awful piece of shit KP was and never did. Just how she could have spoken up about Toon. I remember asking one of my friends from Limbo who's in tight with those people, and the answer was, who's in tight with these people, and I asked, why do they put up with this? How come they can't ever speak up and say their mind? Because they're a bunch of betas, Anthony. Because Toon Kritic's whole set of friends are a bunch of beta cucks who have no backbone or spine. If you want proof of this, look at the call. This is Aeon of Dreams. Well, that's the person I forgot earlier. Keychi FIM, Solar Flare, British Ninja, Josh Scorcher, and Irish John. Barring Josh and me not wanting to call Ninja my friend, there are Limbo people cleaning up after Toon Kritic's crap. You don't see Keyframe, and you sure as fuck don't see the Wilsonator. I want to sidetrack real quick to Jerry because of course I do. Now, this is sadly, unfortunately, a hypothetical. What if Josh had leaked that tape? I could have seen him feeling guilty enough not wanting to cover it up. It would have been possible if I didn't hear this. Now, I must have missed this part from the original call. Maybe I didn't have time to listen to every last Toon. Maybe I didn't have time to listen to every piece of every Toon Kritic video out there, including the call. I wanted to believe that Josh Scorcher would do the right thing. And after listening to a minute of Dr. Wolf's video, I wanted to believe that he would do the right thing. In my defense, there's been a lot of videos on that subject. And I did have to skim a couple, and I have watched some more than others. Josh, Silver Quill, I'm pissed off at you. I'm not going to scream at you in this video. I want to make a suggestion right now. You both have fucked up. Silver Quill for partially being responsible for calling for forgiveness of a pedophile, as well as suggesting these people here cover it up. People who already knew what right thing to do, Josh. You've purposely stopped people from doing the right thing. But all is not lost. This all happened because the victims, or the victim, or anyone else involved who didn't feel that they had a place to go. This, in a desperate situation, was the best option available. I understand many of you are very busy. However, Silver Quill, I understand you occasionally have worked for EQD in the past, assuming either you still do or don't. I'm going to assume you're on good terms. I would like to suggest, if at all possible, that you encourage them to have an open forum for members of the community who have no other place to turn to in these sort of matters, in situations such as molestation. I think it's safe to say that we all agree no one wants that sort of thing floating around anywhere. I also think it's safe to say, even the best of us who've handled this with top marks are still ill-equipped to handle this on a professional level. Equestria Daily is a site that has a quite visible presence in the community that people might feel safe to turn to. And if you had a forum thread with a couple of contact numbers for real professionals, or perhaps ask people in the community who have worked with children professionally, who are medically certified to levy advice, obviously people like that aren't expected to work around the clock, especially for free. But this is a place where victims could have the opportunity to leave questions or remarks and at least have a chance to receive help. Again, I want to thank Horse News, Vita, Sketchy, Mimkage, Massacre Molly, you know what, the community as a whole for putting their best foot forward. This, however, is an awful lot of responsibility for people without the right training to delve into. Speaking of not having the right training, see this screen cap here? Here is a tweet from Jerry Pete threatening to break his mom's neck, a routine situation that Pete does on Twitter on a regular basis. Jerry Pete is in fact not a licensed therapist. You are equating your personal experiences as being universal answers in all occasions. At best, I can potentially say that they've worked for you. At worst, you offered one method as a universal cure-all. And this is the ironic thing. Pete goes on to say this, and I don't disagree with this. I'm also aware I'm a shitty human being. Here is Jerry Pete's description. These studies that you talked about are nowhere to be found. You literally heard a layman with no medical background whatsoever, who's famous for partaking in using Tumblr logic to supersede actual science, who just told you a bunch of studies with zero citation. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying that you shouldn't take Uncle Jerry's word on this one. If you're asking me personally, another layman with no medical background, does revenge feel good? Do I feel that I'm more well-adjusted than all the people who roll over and just take it and put up with other people's bullcrap? Yes. Yes, I do. That, however, is not a professional opinion, and neither is Jerry's. Neither is Tim Tom's over here. Neither is Josh's. And neither is Dr. Wolf's. Moreover, Jerry, Patchwork is your patron. It sure is a good thing that she didn't run out of money so that you could morally grandstand. But to be fair, at least Jerry gave something for that Patreon money, which, if I can remember correctly, Silver Quill did just pocket $450 of Okizuma's money without giving anything back. I want to give a quote here from Josh Scorcher. Here's a question. Why is Lily condoning us for not coming to a conclusion about Toon's behavior sooner when Patchwork clearly stated that she went to Lily to support about Toon Kritic's behavior before all this went down, indicating that Lily knew about Toon before all this went down and said nothing? I want to jump back to one more thing on Donut's video. I'm not pretending like Vita's a saint. I'm highly fucking uncomfortable saying that Vita is protecting the morality in the brony fandom at this moment. And do you know who gift wrapped that to him? Toon's friends. Toon's friends' standard to deal with matters is not to speak up. There were other issues with events like these in BabsCon 2017. I can't comment further other than to say that Keyframe said that she was going to keep her mouth shut because she worked at BabsCon, and this was about saving public image. But getting back to Vita. Vita assured me he's going to try and turn over a new leaf, and truth is, I might not normally hear him out, but I don't have a lot of fucking choices. In fact, I don't really have any. Even with videos like these telling me otherwise, I'm choosing to side with Vita, other than these people right now. Before we move on, I want to thank Sketchy the Changeling, who, unlike myself, finished watching Dr. Wolf's video. I had only regretfully watched a clip. I hadn't realized that Dr. Wolf had asked people to forgive Toon. Now, if you want to respond... if I were to respond, I think I would have been a lot more harsh myself. I don't want a collab. I don't want a podcast. But I do need to say thank you. Some may be quick to point out that Toon Kritic cut off Sketchy, and this is sour grapes. I am not Sketchy's fan, far from it. But this was a huge, defining moment. The community is stronger and a better place for your inclusion, Sketchy. Whether I like you or not, I'm glad you're here. But getting back to Jerry, were you suggesting that you were withholding evidence? I do not recall seeing you post about Toon other than saying he was a very bad boy. Once again, Jerry, I did try and tell you, when I was in your chat, you chose not to listen. And I thought you might. Recently, I've tried to be receptive to Josh Scorcher. Vita has tried to be receptive to Josh, who's been very polite for the most part. Well, quite frankly, both of them. Josh, if you don't wish to talk to me after this, that's fine. If in addition to forgiveness, you wanted to offer a way to let previous victims come forward and be heard, this wouldn't look nearly as half as bad right now. Josh, if you could tell your friends, if in addition to forgiveness, they would have gave an opportunity for victims to come forward and be heard, they wouldn't look nearly half as bad right now. It's still not too late to help smooth things along. I'm sure Silver doesn't want to talk to me of all people right now, so hey, you can steal that forum support idea and act like it was yours. This is a potential art misunderstanding. This is Heisei Fox. I'm going to show you guys 6 examples of their work versus 6 examples of work that was made earlier that seems familiar. I've talked to Chard Knight, Wacom Dragon, as well as Shadow the Were-Dragon, and on whether they felt that this artwork was borrowed, so here we go. Here is Heisei Fox's artwork. Here is the presumable original. Example 2. Here is Heisei Fox's artwork. Here is presumably the original. Here is Heisei Fox's artwork. Here is presumably the original. Example 4. Here is Heisei Fox's artwork. Here is presumably the original. Example 5. Here is Heisei Fox's artwork. Here is presumably the original. And example 6. Here is Heisei Fox's artwork. And here is presumably the original. Now, I'm not suggesting that Heisei Fox's artwork is untalented, but this sort of borrowing might be looked down upon in the community. By all means, I would like to hear your comments down below on what you think. Now, here is where Heisei Fox did some artwork of the original artist's work, where it is cited by Lepodity. I'm sorry I screwed that up. So she is aware of the artist. He or she, I'm not sure on Heisei Fox. I've been tapped on the shoulder on covering this situation. I hope I did an okay job. Thank you.